Clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my
That's a lie.
telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me
Yeah.
All that shit, just let me go.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Europe. This is the most badass YouTube broadcast out in the land, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tommy C. This is Shop the Point. Point man today is none other than Dr. Zhivago. How you doing there, Doc?
It ain't easy being cheesy.
No, it's not, and that is fucking cringe as fuck. You're absolutely right. And I'd also like to introduce you, formerly heavy donator and all around behind the scenes guy, Coremaster. Coremaster, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
You're welcome. One of the reasons you're on is because you lost your fucking job. Way to go. Did you get in trouble listening to me during work or some shit?
Probably. I listen to you all the time, Tommy.
And you have a family and you're married and shit, and you managed to lose your job over Shopping the Point?
Yeah, exactly. You know why? Because I am a terrible person. That's what I am.
A terrible person. Well, you'll fit in good right here, and also you're gonna owe me. This is kind of a down payment on your Patreon. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right here. What the fuck was that? Can you hear that? There's ghosts in this place. I can't believe that. Hey, fuckheads, how you doing in the chat? Lieutenant Cobra writes, black people. At least he's accusing people of being kitty diddlers or whatever. This is politics, so there's no chance of being monetized under any circumstances. Listen, I want to.
The white man's lies to me.
If you guys are worried that I'm going to super politicize this up, I don't know. I'm going to try not to. Because what happened is that Corey Lewandowski became my personal frigging hero yesterday. Now, if you're going to look at this from a good Trump, bad Trump, orange man, bad orange man, good situation, you're probably not going to enjoy the show. What you might enjoy is the fact that my country is falling apart at the seams, and that the things that go on in the House of Representatives aren't any goofier than what goes on in this show and many other internet shows. So I'm here to kind of giggle and laugh as the world falls apart around us, so we can watch the people that we elect to protect our country and look out at our best interest, only to find out they put the pants on the same way you do. That's right. Corey Lewandowski went to the Hill yesterday and made utter jackasses of the people who question him. Corey Lewandowski is a former cop. I think he's from Lowell, Massachusetts, which is a big shithole. Same area that Faze Banks is from. And we're going to watch this together and enjoy it. If I have to give a little context, and I'm trying not to politicize this. It'd probably be close to impossible, but let me give you some context so you know what's going on. It has to go back all the way to the Nixon administration. The special prosecutor, sort of like Robert Mueller, was named Archibald Cox, and he was investigating obstruction of justice in the Nixon administration. Okay. At one point, I guess old Cox was getting too close. Get it? Cox, close. Get it? And Richard Nixon proceeded to fire him. That set off a change of events. Now the president has every right to fire anybody that he that serves at his service, and that would be including Archibald Cox, not unlike Robert Mueller. But the thing is, politically, that's enough to get people to think that we're on the fence about Nixon, that he was obstructing justice, doing something criminal, and he shortly resigned after the articles of impeachment were about to be introduced. Now, you may remember during the Trump fiasco the last 2 years, we constantly heard that Mueller was going to be fired. Mueller's going to be fired. And I heard it so much, I said to myself, I think these motherfuckers want them to fire Mueller so they can impeach him for it. Of course, the firing never, ever happened. So what you're going to watch is a giant perjury trap. They're trying to get him to contradict himself so he perjures himself in front of Congress. Of course, Lewandowski knows this and proceeds to make utter jackasses and fools of them. And also keep in mind that the illegal thing, or it's not even illegal, the thing that they need to happen to impeach him never happened. Never happened. Not a day, not a second. Robert Mueller completed his investigation, and in that investigation, he didn't find any collusion, not just with Donald Trump. Every single American on the planet had nothing to do with fixing that election in every way. So the Democrats are in a bit of trouble. Big economy. Things seem to be doing okay economically, and no Russia. Russiagate was a big thing. So now we have to lay perjury traps for Trump people. Watch this circus. Are you ready, boys? Are you ready to watch this? Are you ready to see my new hero, Mr. Corey Lewandowski?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Are you watching? Because I can't wait to share this with you. This one's not about hits, folks. This one's about my own personal entertainment. I hope you can enjoy it with me.
Begin by recognizing myself for 5 minutes. Mr. Lewandowski, is it correct that as reported in the Mueller report on June 19, 2017, you met alone in the Oval Office with the president?
Oops.
I said,
is there a book and page number you can reference me to, please? I don't have a copy of the report in front of me.
Volume 2, page 90. But I simply ask you, is it correct that as reported in the Mueller report on June 19th, 2017, you met alone in the Oval Office with the president?
Could you read the exact language of the report, sir? I don't have it available to me.
I don't think I need to do that, and I have limited time. Did you meet alone with the president on that date?
Congressman, I'd like you to refresh my memory by providing a copy of the report so I can follow along.
You don't have a copy with you?
I don't have a copy of the report,
He just told you. It gets better.
Mr. Chairman, I request that the clock be stopped while this charade is sorted out.
I'm sorry, Congressman, what page was it?
Should have been stopped and should remain stopped. Page 90, volume 2.
Okay, and which paragraph, sir?
I don't have it in front of me.
You just said
I'd
it
like a
twice.
reference, sir, so I can follow along on what you're asking.
It's like a school teacher telling a
Do
student
you not
to
have an
fuck off.
independent recollection of whether you met with the president on that date?
That's a key. Independent recollection. Remember that when I explained to you what exactly is going on, what's really going on here.
Congressman, I'm just trying to find in the Mueller report where it states that.
Well, you have it in front of you. I gave you the page number.
Okay, where on page 90 is it, sir?
Yes, Lewandowski is doing this on purpose, but there's a good reason for it.
Mr. Chairman, you got to start the clock.
No, I don't have to start the clock when he's filibustering. Bottom of page 90.
Filibustering is a different issue. That's across the hall in the Senate. This is actual questions being done now.
Mr. Chairman, point of parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
That's not
The gentleman will state his point of parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Chairman, is it appropriate for a witness to refuse to answer a question and instead demand that we reference and point him to the... I'd ask that Mueller report be closed and the witness be directed to answer the question.
Did you hear what he just said? He asked that the Mueller report be closed. More than likely, they did not put the Mueller report in front of him, and here's why. He was on the Trump claimed executive privilege on the conversations that he had with Mr. Lewandowski, okay? That's protected. That's so they don't fucking screw around with you. Everybody uses it in situations like this. What they did is they gave everybody a copy of the Mueller report except Lewandowski. And here's the thing. What he's going to do is he's going to stonewall by saying he can only speak within the bounds of the report. So they're trying to get him to perjure himself by contradicting the report. And one of the best ways to do that is not to put report in front of him. He knows that. And instead of accusing them of trying to screw him, which they are, he plays stupid. Can you give me that paragraph again? This is brilliance. This is absolute brilliance. And the fact that this jackass right here would say, he doesn't need the report. Why don't you give me a private recollection? That's completely ridiculous. Something like 5 or 6 people have went to jail because of perjury traps. Nothing to do with the Russians. So he has every right in the world to have that report right in front of him so he doesn't contradict himself. And by the way, by accident doesn't count. They can still nail you for misspeaking. So that's what they're trying. They're literally trying to set him up so he contradicts it, whether he's, I didn't mean that. It's not going to matter. He's going to get arrested. So that's the kind of stakes game we're paid for. So they're trying to keep the report for him so he says something out of turn.
The answer is not appropriate, but it's on the bottom 2 lines of that page.
Now it can start. The clock can start now. There's a question.
Point of order. When will the clock start, Mr. Chairman?
Once the question's asked, Mr. Chairman, the clock should start.
Right under overview, second line.
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman, the witness.
Point of order.
The witness has the time and will
Point of
answer.
order is
question. The witness
point of order
will answer
overrides
the question.
that. A point of order overrides that, Mr. Chairman, and you know that.
The gentleman will state his point of order.
Point of order is once the question has been asked in reference properly to the witness, to answer the question, the clock should start. It cannot be held while you and your counsel go over notes.
And keep in mind, they were trying to keep the biggest note off Lewandowski's desk.
The gentleman is correct. The clock will start. And the witness will answer the question without further delay.
Yes, I see that in the report.
Thank you. Did he ever discuss with you any concerns that he may have committed a criminal offense?
The White House has directed not to disclose the substance of any discussions with the president or his advisors to protect executive branch confidentiality.
That is executive privilege, and just about every president in my lifetime has claimed it one time or another, including President Obama.
All right,
I recognize this is not my privilege.
Mr. Chairman, I make a point of order. Pursuant to Clause 2J, 2A of Rule 111, that the gentleman is out of order. He has exceeded the time limit under the 5-minute rule.
Now the Republicans are playing games because now they're even getting sick of it. This is not about Russia. This is about trapping somebody, so they're going to fuck with them too. So it's just complete fuckery from all around.
The time limit under the 5-minute rule.
I challenge the ruling. I challenge the ruling of the chair.
The ruling of the chair is challenged. All those in favor of overriding the rule of the chair will say aye. Opposed, no? No.
Roll call.
Those have it. Roll call is asked. The clerk will call. Where's the clerk?
We can make this a lot easier.
Now they have to count every idiot in that fucking place, whether they yay or nay. And this tactic will be used more than once.
We can. I mean, this
clerk will call the roll.
Yeah. Mr. Nadler?
The question is, will the ruling of the chair be overruled? My vote is no.
Mr. Nadler votes no. Ms. Lofgren? Ms. Jackson-Lee? Ms. Jackson-Lee votes no. Mr.
They gotta do every one of them. Now, of course, it's going to be upheld because there's more Democrats than the Republicans, but this is great.
Mr. Chairman, there are 13 ayes and 19 noes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. Mr. Chairman, since the chairman has refused...
Gentleman is not recognized.
I will.
The point of order is sustained.
Mr. Chairman.
I am very troubled that the White House counsel sitting behind you are preventing you from answering these very basic questions that go to the heart of the president's conduct we are investigating.
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion. You will wait for your motion until I finish this.
Point of order, then.
Not only
point of order has got to be recognized.
Not in the middle of...
Yes, it does. The motion is to, since the chairman is not following the House rules, I move to adjourn.
Motion is to adjourn.
Now they're trying to get rid of and cancel the whole fucking thing.
Oh, wow.
I don't know who that guy is behind him, but he is a pain in the ass to this guy Nadler.
A motion
Point of parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to adjourn.
Point of parliamentary. If the Republicans on this committee are successful in this motion to adjourn, does that mean there will be no hearing and the American people will not hear from Mr. Lewandowski about his efforts to obstruct justice?
Yes, that's exactly what it means.
Well, that's a bit of a straw man.
It also could read, they could read the 3 times it's previously already done it.
I have a point of parliament.
Here's another thing to point out. Lewandowski has been interviewed 5 times by several different committees, and he's getting saved statements every single time. So now it's becoming ridiculous. So they're just going to make a trash fire of it.
Inquiry.
The motion is not debatable. As many as are in favor of the motion to adjourn.
I have a motion of parliamentary inquiry.
As many are in favor.
So Mr. Cicilline gets recognized for his inquiry, but I don't get recognized.
Debatable. As many as are in favor of the motion to adjourn say aye.
Watch this.
Opposed, no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. Roll call. The question is on the motion to adjourn. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Nadler?
No.
Mr. Nadler votes no. Ms. Lofgren? Ms. Jackson-Lee? Ms. Jackson-Lee votes no. Mr. Cohen?
Under normal circumstances, I would have a problem with this. But here's the thing. This is going on way too long. They can't find anybody on Russia, so they're just trying to put as many people in jail for contradicting themselves or maybe their memory failing them as possible. So I am glad that Mr. Lewandowski is making these guys look like the jackasses that they always were. I'm enjoying this tremendously. Roll call.
Mr. Chairman, there are 12 ayes and 19 noes.
The motion to adjourn is not adopted. Georgia, for his questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This past few minutes was totally avoidable and also very frustrating in the sense that it is also now raised from our perspective a question of the privileges of the rules of the House, which could be discussed on the floor and probably will be, and possibly just the blatant running over of House rules. My concern is ethics violations as well. This has got to be run in a different way. It's okay to try and get your stuff out. It's okay to be frustrated, but it's also not okay to overrun House rules. The 5-minute rule is a House rule. It's not a committee rule, and it's not for interpretation by the chairman, whatever he feels like. It wouldn't be if I was the chairman or you're the chairman. That's not debatable. And you may not have got your last question in, but we've already discussed, and we're going to have a lot more discussion here in a little while on staff questioning, but there's plenty of time to get that last little question that you didn't get asked to somebody else. But is it worth breaking the House rules? And I know some in the audience don't care, and some of the majority don't care. But at the end of the day,
that's a lot of
you're
money,
accusing a president.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Of very high issues that we got to look at. You're accusing.
He almost said high crimes. That wouldn't have been good for Trump.
I've been dragging it through in this committee for 8 months. We're doing this. So I think following procedures is something that you actually have to look at, because your idea is not really.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. The time has expired.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Lewandowski, you are about like a fish being cleaned with a spoon. It's very hard.
And you look like Dennis Rodman in his last year with the Spurs.
To get an answer out of you. You felt kind of squeamish, like that fish that you are trying to be right now, being scaled.
Yeah, he looks terrified.
You felt a little squeamish about delivering that message, correct?
No, sir.
Well, why did it take you so long and you never even delivered it?
Correct. I never delivered the message.
Yeah, you chickened out.
I went on vacation.
You went on vacation. And so you put the message in the safe, in your home for safekeeping, correct? Before you went on vacation.
I took my kids to the beach, Congressman. That was more of a priority.
And President Trump...
Damn straight.
Yeah, right.
Was hounding you about when are you going to deliver that message, correct?
Completely inaccurate, Congressman.
Well, he asked you about it a few times, didn't he?
No, he did not.
Have you ever put any words that the president asked you to write down before in a safe? Or was this the first time you'd done that?
I believe it's my standard operating procedure when taking notes, Congressman.
So every note that you take of the president, you put in a safe? How big is that safe?
It's a big safe, Congressman. There's a lot of guns in there.
On January 2019,
He said, "You want those too?"
He's literally fucking with them.
Matthews show, a member of this committee was asked, "Do you believe the president right now has been an agent of the Russians?"
That was me.
That member said, "Yes." Chris Matthews followed up and said, "An agent like in the 1940s working for a foreign power?" That individual responded, "He's working on behalf of the Russians, yes."
Still believe that.
They think this shit is a movie.
Yeah, it is like a movie. And he's sitting there interrupting, saying, this guy right here, the guy you're seeing now that's not in focus, he has literally gone on MSNBC and said he's had proof, that he's seen evidence, and when the Mueller report was done, nothing, not Trump, not even just Trump, nobody, zero, zip, nothing. They found nothing. But this motherfucker who was lying, saying he had it, and I forget who the other scumbag was too. They're all of them, Brennan, Clapper, and this other congressman, I can't remember, in the Intelligence Committee. They were all saying that they had Trump dead to rights. When the report was over, they didn't find a single fucking contact. Not one. And he's like, I still believe that. Well, believe it all you want. A lot of people believe in the fucking spaghetti monster and goddamn being attack helicopters and all that other horse shit. It doesn't make it any more true. That's right. Your religion's bullshit. Whoever it happens to be in there.
Chairman.
Schiff. That's right.
Are we the gentleman from...
The Democrats have literally been lying about they've seen CIA fucking information. By the way, it's illegal to say that. And I have a clearance. I had a clearance, I should say. They say, oh, yeah, we got the goods. Nothing. It didn't get the fucking Mueller.
Arizona's got the time.
Hong Kong. I imagine most world governments are like this. People should be on top of the other side. I got to be honest with you. They're probably not. This is probably the best thing going. I swear to God. I watched some of the Nigerian parliament, and it was a complete WWE throwdown. So at least we're not there yet, although I wouldn't mind it because it would help my show tremendously. I love to see these guys slug it out, those old farts.
Arizona has the time.
I'd like 10 seconds added back on.
He's got 10 seconds in any event.
Do you believe that
Vladimir Putin is sitting in his office right now in the Kremlin, laughing at what those on the other side of the aisle are doing and believing that those on the other side of the aisle are useful idiots helping.
Objection.
That's a lot of money, I guess.
Point of order.
Sounds like high school, but it's grown men. Yeah, it does.
Gentlelady will state her point of order.
I have a point of order. According to the rules, and the rules of this committee and the House rules, we cannot attribute derogatory names to our colleagues or motives to our colleagues. And I believe the gentleman said those on the other side of the aisle are idiots.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. That woman is the dumbest woman in Congress. I mean, she is literally a box of rocks. And you're going to find out why in a second. New track. Welcome to the channel.
This is a very sacred and somber responsibility. I've taken an oath of office, my good friend, just like you did. I am concerned about the Constitution just as you are, and I would not engage in any behavior that could be described as idiot. Never in my life or my colleagues have we ever discussed
until now
behaving like idiots.
I mean, actually, I didn't call anybody an idiot. I said useful idiot. And secondly,
useful idiot is referred to a term that Lenin supposedly made, referring to liberals.
Idiot.
Yes.
Asked
so he didn't call them idiots, useful idiots. It's not very nice language, but a useful idiot is a thing rather than just a pejorative. You know, or not a pejorative. It wasn't like he was. He was. Let's see if I can explain this correctly. It wasn't just an ad hominem.
Whether he believed that as part of Vladimir Putin's strategy, Vladimir Putin was being aided by useful idiots in America.
Good morning, Mr. Lewandowski. I'm questioning you right now. Thank you.
This is where it gets good. This is where I cut it because this woman is a box of fucking rocks. She is brain dead. Anybody that had trouble in school growing up, anybody that they think they're getting shafted in life and they can't go anywhere for this reason or that reason, well, this woman is in the House of Representatives. There's always hope.
The president asked you, who had no role at all in the White House, to deliver that message to Attorney General Sessions. The president could have just picked up the phone himself at any time and called the Attorney General. The president also had a...
Yes, useful idiot isn't an insult. It's described as being used unknowingly. Correct. And Lenin said it years ago, and he was probably referring to liberals.
...full staff of executive employees right down the hall. So this made me wonder, if the president thought what he was doing was legal, why didn't he just pick up the phone and call the Attorney General Sessions, or why not ask any member of his staff who worked right down the hall to deliver a message? It is clear to me that the reason he went to you, Mr. Lewandowski, is because everyone...
Look at that black guy over her right shoulder. Jesus Christ. Huh? What's going on? Where the hell am I? I was homeless 10 minutes ago. They put me shooting.
Said no. So I want to ask you...
What's with his mouth? What's going on back there?
About that. 2 days before meeting you, the president...
Can't believe I'm here.
White House counsel McGahn at home on a...
His teeth fell out. Maybe they did.
Saturday to fire the special counsel, saying, and you can see that on the screen, Mueller has to go. Call me back when you do it. Plain and simple. But McGahn refused. When the president asked you to deliver that message, did he, the president, tell you that 2 days before your meeting, his White House counsel had refused to fire the special counsel?
I can't hear words he says. I keep looking at that man's mouth.
Volume 1186 is where you'll find that language.
It's like watching a fish.
Volume 2. When the president asked you, did you hear the question?
I'm sorry.
I can't get over that guy's mouth. I'm sorry, man. Can you repeat it?
Can you repeat the question?
The president asked you to deliver that
guy looks
message.
like he's been awake for 8 months.
The president tell you
He's the guy out of a coma.
that 2 days before your meeting, his White House counsel had refused to fire the special counsel.
The White House has directed me that I not disclose the substance of any conversations with the president.
You are not allowed to answer whether the president told you he called his counsel at home on Saturday to remove the special counsel, and his counsel said no.
Looks like
the president had also personally called Sessions at home and asked him to unrecuse himself and oversee the special counsel's investigation, and Sessions said no. When the president asked you to deliver his message to Sessions, did the president tell you that Sessions had already said no? Volume 2, page 107?
Again, Congresswoman, I recognize that the privilege is not mine, but I've been asked by the White House to... Congresswoman, I'd be happy to answer your question, or you can just have a conversation by yourself. But if you'd like to ask me a question, I'll be happy to answer
I'm going to continue. The reason is
well, then don't ask me a question if you don't want to hear my answer.
Hey, my mouth fell off. My teeth fell out. I got to get out of here.
My time, this is a House judiciary, not a House party.
So if you ask me a question, give me the opportunity to answer your question.
The very campaign the special counsel was investigating, I'd like my time restored, please, of his interruption.
You got to ask a question, stupid.
So he was a witness to the special counsel's investigation. For that reason, Sessions said publicly that federal law prohibited his involvement in the special counsel's investigation. Here's a quote from the report from volume 2, pages 49 to 50, which is on the screen. You can read that. Yes or no? Did the president tell you that the attorney general was legally not allowed to take any part in the special counsel's investigation when he asked you to deliver him a note about that very investigation? Did the president tell you that?
What you've just read is not on the screen, Congresswoman.
You need to look at the screen. There it is. Yes or no? Read
They're probably doing that on purpose, too.
The screen.
You're welcome to read it, Congresswoman.
You're welcome to be stalling, and I'm not going to...
Then I'll keep stalling.
Stall. You either answer the question yes or no.
Congressman, I'll take the same privileges that you've had as other members.
Tell you that nobody at the White House was supposed to even contact the Attorney General about the investigation? That you can answer yes or no.
I will not disclose any conversations I've had with the President, Congresswoman.
Again, you are obviously here to block any reasonable inquiry into the truth or not.
He's also trying not to fall in a perjury trap.
Of this administration. The White House counsel, quote, shortly after Sessions announced his recusal, directed that Sessions should not be contacted about the special counsel investigation. In fact, the White House counsel's internal notes state no contact with Sessions and no communication serious about instruction. Can you read that? I just said it.
Serious concerns, stupid. Serious concerns about instruction.
Do you hear me?
Yes, is there a question?
Yes. Did the president tell you his White House counsel told him no contact with Sessions because of serious concerns of obstruction when he asked you to deliver a message?
When they say serious concerns of obstruction, they're saying we may be accused of obstruction. Not that contacting them would actually constitute that. What they're concerned about is them, because you could be impeached for chewing gum the wrong way. So that's probably why that was out. There's no... Trump at any time could pick up and hey, Mueller, you're fired. That's not illegal. But they can't get Archibald Cox and the Nixon administration out. They think they're so fucking smart. Well, if Mueller gets fired, we win, he gets impeached. And they can't get over it. And here's the best part. They never got the message.
To Sessions.
I am respecting the executive branch privilege of confidentiality, and I will recognize that this time.
Let me just say that did you know the president was putting you at risk when he asked you to deliver a message to the Attorney General? I want to be very clear. The president knew what he was doing was wrong because everyone else had already said no. He called his White House counsel to fire the special counsel. McGahn said no. He called the Attorney General to ask him to unrecuse himself from the special counsel's investigation. Sessions said no. His White House counsel said there should be no contact with Sessions because of his recusal. So what does the president do? He calls you in to do what everyone else wouldn't do. He called you in to do his dirty work in secret because he knew it was wrong. Well, we will expose the truth. The president cannot hide behind you any longer. And you should be here to be telling the truth, Lewandowski, because the truth will set you free and the American people.
The gentlelady has
No, it won't. It'll drag this out another 10 months.
The witness may answer the question.
I don't believe there was a question, Congressman.
Very well.
Yes, there was.
Could you repeat the question? I didn't hear it.
I'd be happy to repeat the
question. It's just a rant.
It's just a rant. It's just a rant. Oh, let's watch it again. It's so beautiful.
People.
The gentlelady has expired. The witness may answer the question.
I don't believe there was a question, Congressman.
Very well.
Yes, there was.
Could you repeat the question? I didn't hear it.
I'd be happy to repeat the
question.
It's
just a rant.
I'll be happy to repeat the question.
Gentlelady's time has expired. The gentleman from...
did you know the Attorney General had recused?
He just shut her up. Even Nadler's like, shut this bitch up.
I'm done.
Yeah, so all she was doing is running her fucking mouth. You knew that you did something wrong. What do you want me to say? Yes? You know, I mean, what are you fucking, you big blob?
The gentleman from Tennessee is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Lewandowski, it's been made clear here you were not an employee and you admitted of the White House. You had no W-2, you had no card, you had nothing. You were not an employee. And you weren't a policeman at one time. So you know something about the law and about following the law. Didn't you think it was a little strange that the president would sit down with you one-on-one and ask you to do something that you knew was against the law? Did that strike you as strange?
Did you how did it feel when you beat your wife? I mean, this guy's not going to fall for this shit. He's not going to fall for that trap. Because if he says, yes, and then it's like admitted to it. It's so stupid.
I disagree with the premise of your question.
Yes.
You weren't a policeman?
Listen to this again. This is why this guy is so fucking dishonest. Listen to him. He brings up the fact that he was a cop, and then basically gives him you beat your wife thing, and then he acts like he asked him a question about being a cop.
You had no W-2, you had no card, you had nothing. You were not an employee, and you weren't a policeman at one time. So you know something about
all right. That's a statement. You were a policeman at one time.
The law and about following the law. Didn't you think it was a little strange that the president would sit down with you one-on-one and ask you to do something that you knew was against the law? Did that strike you as strange?
I disagree with the premise of your question, Congressman.
You weren't a policeman?
Then he goes, you weren't a policeman. He didn't ask him that.
I didn't think the president asked me to do anything illegal.
You didn't think it would have been illegal for you to ask Mr. Sessions to drop the investigation and to just go on to future presidents and omit everything with this president and go ollie in free? We're going to start with the next one about colluding with Russia. You didn't think that was illegal to obstruct justice?
That's so dishonest. It's so dishonest. You didn't think it was illegal to obstruct justice? I think if he says no, that means you admit to obstruction of justice. If you say yes, that means you admit to say, hey, what an asshole. You didn't think it was illegal to obstruct justice? You didn't think it was illegal to beat your wife? What? I never beat my...
Stop it.
Congressman.
Get some help.
Yes.
The president didn't ask me to do anything illegal.
And that's great. And he stones him.
And to just go on to future presidents and omit everything with this
Ollie
president and go
Oxenfree.
ollie in free. We're going to start with the next one about colluding with Russia. You didn't think that was illegal to obstruct justice?
Congressman, the president didn't ask me to do anything illegal.
Obviously, you've never been a judge and won't be one.
No, he's a cop, stupid. And he ran a fucking campaign. He's not trying to be a fucking shithead lawyer, dishonest piece of garbage, slip and fall, piece of trash like you were.
All these people asked you. They gave you dictation.
How is it insult? Hey, Zhivago, I got a real killer for you. You're never going to be a judge.
Good. I don't care.
Yeah, right.
Dictated to you a message to give Sessions. Had you ever been a secretary for the president before and taken dictation or shorthand?
Many times.
Oh, we got your qualifications now. You were a
you need qualifications to write something down, you fat fuck.
Secretary. But he asked you outside of White House channels, and that's what Mueller wrote, that this was...
The word read, okay, he's a doctor.
Outside of White House channels. Could it have been he asked you to get the message to Sessions because he thought you would do whatever he asked, even if it was illegal or immoral? Just like your former boss, Bob Ney, who said you were an implementer. News reports called you the president's, quote, enforcer. USA Today said Lewandowski's background is largely as a Trump guy, and not so much as a strategist, not a campaign manager, but as a right-hand man, a body man, and an enforcer. And Esquire went
body man
and said the one time.
What do you mean? He whacked somebody? What do you think? You had to get wet sometime? A body man? What the fuck is that?
Time campaign manager for Donald Trump has the traits of an enforcer and the conflict resolution skills to match. And
yeah, I silenced 22 fucking cults.
You've even described yourself in your book, Let Trump Be Trump. You said, we were fine with whatever role the president wanted us to play. In Donald Trump's army, there were only loyal soldiers. There were no more loyal soldiers. Your previous boss, Bob Ney, was convicted of corruption and lying to authorities in the Jack Abraham scandal. You were fired from Americans for Prosperity after being
Go get your fucking shine box. Yeah.
fraud, voter fraud. You are now involved in this. Either you were willing to break the law for politics and Mr. Trump, or you're some kind of a Forrest Gump relating to corruption. So maybe let me ask you this. Did the president pick you as enforcer? He thought you would play whatever role he wanted because it was illegal? Is that possibly why he chose
He does it
to
again.
take this message to Sessions?
That'd be a question for the president, Congressman.
Well, Donald Trump was right, though. First, the White House counsel, Don McGahn, refused to fire the special counsel. Mr. McGahn showed principle and character and refused to do what he knew would be an illegal act. Then Attorney General Sessions...
Again, the act isn't illegal. These guys are stuck on Archibald Cox. Nixon wasn't clipped because he fired Archibald Cox. He was clipped because they couldn't get to the bottom of the investigation unless Cox continued. So when they fired him, they said, "You know what? We don't care if it's fun. We're gonna can him for not letting us keep the investigation open." It's not illegal to fire him. They work at the president's pleasure. But the reason the special counsel is there, and that's kind of the the check and balance. If the president does it, politically he loses, and he's going to lose the people more than likely too. And that's why for the last 2 years, you sat here, he's going to fire Mueller. He's going to fire Mueller. They needed him to fire Mueller. They needed him to do this because they got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Not a goddamn thing. And it's making them all really salty. We're not talking about Russia. Nobody gives a fuck about the integrity of the elections or whether Russians involved with it. In fact, these same people are the ones that don't want you to show your ID when you vote. Who the fuck are you kidding?
who had recused himself, was asked to unrecuse himself. But Attorney General Sessions also did the right thing. And he said, I'm not going to unrecuse myself because I'd have a conflict, because I was involved in the campaign and knew some things, can't do it. Then the White House counsel advised the president not even to contact Sessions.
And let's pretend it is illegal to contact Sessions. And let's pretend it's illegal for the president to tell Sessions to fire Mueller. It never happened. So, is this a thought crime? Did he think about firing Mueller? Is that illegal to do? Is that what's going to be in the articles of impeachment, which will be absolutely hysterical? He thought about firing Mueller.
But you, his loyal soldier, would do it. You were different than Sessions and McGahn. Trump could depend on you. You did not ask any questions. You were a loyal soldier. You just wrote down the message and agreed to deliver it. That's what he thought.
And didn't do it. Took his kids out for vacation.
You took the dictation. You gave it to Hope Hicks. You asked her to type it up for you. Not that you couldn't have done it yourself, I'm sure. And then asked somebody else to deliver the message to Sessions when you decided not to. Donald Trump talked to you outside normal channels so there'd be no record of anything that he asked you to do to obstruct justice.
Then why did he, if there's going to be no record, why did he let him dictate it? That doesn't make any sense. Didn't he say that? Am I wrong? He's been told several times, no record. There's a record right there. No official record, maybe what he meant, but it's no record. I mean, there is a record.
Nothing to do with that at all. The president knew what he was doing was wrong. Mr. Sessions knew what he was doing was wrong. Mr. McGahn knew what he was doing was wrong. You seemed to be the only person that didn't think it was wrong. But Mr. Trump was wrong, because at the last minute, you got cold feet. You chickened out. The president's trust was misplaced. You decided not to do what you told the president you were going to do, and you handed it off to somebody else. Did you realize at some point that Mr. Ney, your former boss, got involved in criminal problems and went to prison, and maybe you were going to be the next one? Did that cross your mind? Did you ever think about Bob Ney's situation and going to prison?
Congressman Ney, Congressman, so we're clear, went to jail many years after I left his employment. I'm sure you're going to clarify that for the record.
Got him.
So, again, one thing doesn't have to do with another. One thing doesn't have anything to do with another. Did you beat your wife the other day is not going to work on Lewandowski, and you make a fucking big salty fool of yourself.
And you were his employee, and you had great respect for him, but you learned from that. I'm asking, did you learn from his experience and realize that what you were asked to do was illegal, and you didn't want to follow the same trail as Bob Ney and end up in prison?
I wasn't asked to do anything illegal, Congressman.
public will determine that.
The public would actually, somebody would have to arrest him. The public wouldn't determine that at all. He'd have to actually get arrested.
Of Congress by this administration, and you followed their instructions, and you're doing just exactly what they thought you'd do. You are a loyal soldier, except you didn't follow Trump's instructions. You chickened out at the last minute. You got cold feet.
Well, there it is. Story's over. He chickened out. They never got the message. Game over. It never happened. Assuming that's illegal in the first place. And that's up to a judge to decide. Again, I can't stress this enough. Mueller works at the pleasure of the president. These guys know they were praying the last 2 years that they fired Mueller. And maybe Trump thought about it. And maybe, remember, it's just their testimony. It's all raw data from the report. Doesn't mean it happened. Somebody could have said, yeah, Trump asked me and I didn't do it because I'm such a fucking hero. It could have been a stone lie. We don't know that. We don't know that at all. But assuming it is illegal to tell this guy to fire somebody in that act alone, it never happened. Ever.
I yield back the balance of my time.
Yes, thank you.
Gentleman yields.
I don't think I'm done. That was 20 minutes. Trump, that is 20 minutes. 20 minutes of this shit. But there's a couple other ones that I think I'm going to go to. Hopefully we can get them in the right sound. There's a few more in there. How you held it up, Core Master, without your job?
I'm holding up all right. I have no clue what's going on. Nothing new.
Great. We want people to feel bad for you because you lost your job. Here's let's look at this. This thing's already dead in arrival. No, that's when he says he lied to Fox News. Hold on. This is your participating cover up. This one might be interesting. Hakeem Jeffries slams Lewandowski. You are here participating in the continuing cover up. Well, prove it. Put the articles impeachment in. If he's doing all this illegal shit, you guys got your case already. File the articles. It's your right. Do it. Oh, let me guess. This wasn't a big story yesterday. This is nothing. The American people don't care.
Now, you stated earlier today that President Trump asked you to take down dictation, quote, many times. Is that correct?
It is.
But on page 91, volume 2 of the Mueller report, it states, quote, the president then asked Lewandowski to deliver a message to Sessions and said, quote, write this down, close quote. This was the first time the president had asked Lewandowski to take direct dictation. The first time.
Those are not my words, Congressman. Those are the investigators' words.
Right. Did you lie to Bob Mueller or are you lying to us?
I didn't lie.
Okay. You're not really here to tell the truth. You are here to participate in a continuing cover-up. Russia interfered with this election in sweeping and systematic fashion. The Trump campaign welcomed that assistance at the highest level. There were subsequent acts of obstruction of justice with respect to the investigation. Chairman. The American people deserve to know.
Then file the articles. You have your case. Here's the thing. Everything he said, he can't prove. Everything. They can't prove a fucking thing. So they're dragging the whole country through this horseshit. This is him on Fox News, which is fucking fantastic. And then I'll take calls after this. Maybe one or two.
We should watch the Ugandan WWE thing.
Maybe we should watch Uganda. But there's a really let's see here. There was another one. There was another exchange with that guy that I'd like to watch. Here we go.
The Republican primary campaign.
Okay, here you go. I found it.
This is not a Republican primary campaign. You are not on the campaign trail yet. This is the House Judiciary Committee. Act like you know the difference.
Look, I was subpoenaed to show up. This wasn't like, hey, Corey Lewandowski is going to launch his U.S. Senate campaign in front of the House Judiciary Committee. Nobody's ever done that before. But what the congressman failed to articulate was, I was compelled by a lawful subpoena to show up today, and that's what I did.
So you did tweet, though, thank you at Real Donald Trump. No collusion, no obstruction. The American people know it. And I'll continue to remind them, hashtag Senate 2020, hashtag stand with Corey.
So he's running.
Well, hey, by the way, there's nothing wrong with still having the right of freedom of speech. And, they can have the opportunity to rake me over the coals for 4, 5, 6 hours maybe to remind the American people what I already know and have always said, there was no collusion, no obstruction. I think the people of New Hampshire deserve new leadership, and I'm going to make a decision very soon if I want to run for the U.S. Senate.
So he did. He used the whole thing to pump up his own campaign, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because nobody trusts those people.
Yeah.
Nobody trusts them. He used it. Like you figure you'd be. I had to do that. I'd be sweating my nuts off. But I'm not as ballsy as Corey Lewandowski. I mean, you should, if you get the opportunity, there is a stream out there with the chat was amazing. If you really want to enjoy yourself, right? The chat was absolutely amazing. And like if you say the wrong thing, even if it's by accident, they're going to try to hit you with perjury. And this guy welcomes that shit. It's like, not only I'll go there, I'll make a jackass of him, and I'll show everybody I'm a badass so I can become a senator. It's fucking brilliant. It's heroic. It's fucking fun. I love it. Right, Cormaster?
Exactly. You know what, fuckheads? Can you do me a favor and throw a couple likes to Tommy's way? Especially because, I lost my job and you feel bad for me.
Yes.
Also, if you want to donate some money, not that Tommy told me to say this because he never would, but throw some money at him too while you're at it.
Maybe. Because this guy's got it. He's literally doing the, you're basically doing the dishes for me. Pay off that Patreon. I'll take your calls if you like. We have
my wages.
We have 12 minutes left. Shout out to Mycroft Holmes, who's been waiting me to do something political. Boomer News TV. There you go. But I don't know. I enjoy the shit out of that. It's very rare when I ever cover politics as seriously, if this is serious. Actually, the reason I covered it is because it's a trash fire. And I know everybody but in England is sitting there and saying, wow, the Americans are really fucked up, and they're like nodding their heads. And guess what? Figure out Brexit. Then you can make fun of us. You fucking jackass. This is fucking 3 years ago. You can't even follow through on vote, you goofy tea drinkers. Like the English sticking their nose up. Look at the Americans. They're acting like such fools. Yeah, turn on Parliament. Can't even fucking figure out a vote. I don't even care for Trump. A lawyer actually worked at the sec. That's hi, Tim Green. I got to be honest with you. Obviously, you know where I stand in this situation, but that's the reason I brought this. I figured even if you didn't agree with me politically, you would see that this is a jerk-off parade, and everybody is just except they're doing it with their mouth. Just a big jerk-off. Everybody's there's Sheila Jackson Lee just jerking it really hard, vigorously. Fucking that old Kentucky Fried Chicken looking motherfucker. Just jerking it. How many times a day do you beat your wife? I was saying politics is better, not less stupid. Thank you. All right, thanks for the clarification, Pav, too. Fair enough. God. You're not the only. I really wasn't thinking of you specifically, but yeah, maybe I was. You're right. Oh, Obama's here. Raw Obama, you're on here.
So, what was the possibility that he could have just said, "I plead fifth"?
Well, that's no good. Makes you look guilty. He could. That's the best part. He went in there and didn't plead the fifth. That's for self-incrimination. The way he saw it, he didn't have to say anything because the president was claiming executive privilege. That's the way he saw it. So once they can't hit that, he doesn't have to plead the fifth. And here's the thing. It's questionable whether if he delivers his message, whether it's illegal or not. It's questionable. But here's the thing. You don't need to break a law to become impeached. It's high crimes and misdemeanors, all right? Now, currently, there is a classification of crimes in the United States called misdemeanors, just below felonies, okay? When the country was created, right, when they wrote that, there was no such thing as a classification of a misdemeanor crime. So the word misdemeanor itself means to misbehave. You could be impeached for anything. Anything. And there's no reason to plead the fifth. Plead the fifth is saying, look, if I say this and you can't make me do it, I'll incriminate myself. Okay. You know? Like, let me try to put this in simple terms. Let's say I'm murdering somebody. And at the same time I see you rob a McDonald's as I'm murdering somebody. I don't have to fucking say I saw you and tell them what I was doing at the time. That's just to make it ultra simple. That would be, I'm sorry, sir, I'm going to have to take the fifth on that one.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's another thing you can't do. You can't explain it like half-assed and then take the fifth. You have to say, ain't answer it, Fifth Amendment. And he didn't do that
So you can get
once.
fired for literally anything, even if like you broke the curfew when you were like 10 years old.
No. I don't think you can pull it for just about anyway. There is a rule set, but really the best time to do it is before you start explaining yourself. Once you start explaining yourself, you probably can't take the Fifth Amendment.
I mean, this shit is funny, man.
Yeah, this is great. Makes you feel good because you have a crazy presidency too.
Yes.
You're Russian or Belarus, the Red Russian or White Russian, right?
He dropped out.
He dropped out. He always does that.
He does that, yeah.
Let's put Kat in here. Kat, who is a. I think it's fair to call Kat. You're a Democrat, but not a liberal. Is that fair?
I kind of lean more toward libertarian.
Yeah, but you're a like a registered Democrat, right?
I'm being pushed further and further right, to be honest with you.
Okay. You're actually just like me. I'm a registered Republican, but I don't consider myself a Republican. I'm more of a libertarian. Yeah.
But I mean, it's no secret. I fucking hate Trump. He's a dickhead. There's a lot of things I don't agree with him on, but of course, he is doing things that are good, just not everything. Mm-hmm. But this was a shit show. It was fucking hilarious. Lately, he's just been trolling the fuck out of people. The CNN cat thing with the laser pointer.
Oh no, the Sharpie. The Sharpie.
Well, he had a video of him with a laser pointer and had a cat on a CNN logo smacking at the laser pointer. And he posted that on his Twitter, and it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and they act like their lives are in danger when something like that happens. No, see, the way I see you, Kat, is you are a traditional, I don't like the president because he's a Republican, I'm a Democrat, but you never bought this Russia stuff for a minute.
No.
Yeah. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's what you tell me.
Yeah, he's done stuff like profiting off of the presidency, and I don't agree with that. Having everybody staying at his hotels and his golf resorts and shit. I don't think that's okay. And he's a gigantic fucking hypocrite and a liar and an idiot.
You think he's an idiot?
I think he's an idiot. Yes, I do.
I think he might stretch the truth, but I don't think he's an idiot.
And no, I'm not a smug fence sitter. I have a lot of leftist views, but there are some things that I'm pretty hard right on, like the immigration stuff.
Yeah.
The wall. I agree with that.
Can you honestly say, was this a win for the Democrats or a win for the Republicans on this particular issue? Just this one. This is what we saw, the Lewandowski thing.
Well, the Democrats definitely, they made fucking idiots out of themselves. There is no question about that.
That's funny stuff. In this round. They definitely lost this round.
Lately, yeah.
All right. Let me get Vault, and I'll get out of here. Vault's from a shithole Middle Eastern country. Let's get his take.
Yeah.
Talk to you later. Thank you, Kat. Go ahead.
Hey. Okay, this is why we have a king, guys. All what I watched today just proves to me why a king is needed.
Needed? Yeah, we need a king.
Monarchy is a
what about going to? I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Maybe we should do what England's doing. They have a constitutional monarchy. Should we go that route?
No,
just a king.
Our way, yeah.
Yeah, because then it would. If he's a king, it wouldn't be a problem if he went to sessions or not.
Yeah. If tomorrow the king said to us, nobody can wear pants anymore, then we all don't wear pants anymore.
That's hot.
Simple as that. Yeah.
That's very hot.
Whatever he says,
goes. It's just that simple. It sorts the world out, Grace. Somebody put camels in the chat. Are you insulted?
I am. I want them banned.
All right. Get out of here, you camel jockey. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, stop outshining me. You had your chance.
With the Ugandan WWE.
You sent it to me where?
Yeah, it's on Twitter.
Let's go check it
out. Twitter.
See, it's as bad as we got it. As bad as we got it. At very least, we don't have it this bad. I hope we don't get claimed for the fucking WWE sound effects. Now, I want to cut them out. Yeah, so let's just go here. This is Uganda. everyone. I like the way things roll here. And he goes down. Uh-oh, that guy's mad. He was in that movie with Tom Hanks. They threw the guy through the flag falls down. All right. This is they're getting down to debating here. Uh-oh. Guys with red hats standing on the parliament chairs. There we go. Okay. Up. Guy with chair. He's looking. He's targeted. He points to the guy. Don't you fucking throw that at me. Don't you throw that at me. And I don't know what happened there. Somebody should and a guy took a swing right next to a woman. That was nice. And he throws a chair. It's like Terry Funk in the W. Uh-oh. Clearing house. Stone cold. It was like when he cleared out the ECW and the WCW in 2000. Stone cold. This is great. The other guy's trying to do like a Spanish Olay thing. There's a guy. Oh man, Jesus Christ! The nurse caught the chair over there. That's a pretty good catch. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah. Give me your tie, you bitch. Oh, look at that black lady in the back. She's like, like this hasn't happened before. All right, we're brawling in the back room. Uh-oh, now we're attacking a woman. Oh, what a wonderful place this is. Give me that back, you bitch. Oh, to the gut. No, it doesn't faze him. Well, he's a better man than me because I would have hit him with that motherfucker. Oh, yeah, motherfucker. I'm standing above you with a pipe. I'm a very brave man. Uh-oh, now I got a bigger mic stand. You know what I think? I think they need Nerf mic stands in there. I think that would be appropriate. Lots of Nerf. Ugandan parliament.
This is the way to solve the problem.
Yeah, motherfucker. Oh. Well, they don't seem to finish anybody off. They just knock them down, and then it's kind of like they don't do anything after that. This could have got a lot uglier. That guy just like, fuck it, I'm dressing up like Rambo. Didn't help you.
Nobody hit their ult.
Fuck it, I'm going to tie that red little beret around my head. Get out of here, Rambo. Get lost. Bye.
Just like WWE when they go backstage.
Yeah. That's exactly what it looks like. Yeah. All right. Get out of here, T.I.
Next week on Raw.
You too, motherfucker. Next week on Raw. Next week. Let's see that one again. Hold on. I want to see that again. Oh, this is the greatest. He's pick him up and give him a power bomb. There you go. Wow, what a circus. Oh, there's the guy. He's on the red team.
It's red versus blue.
He's on the red team.
God. That's amazing.
For fuck's sake. All right. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did.
I loved it.
Oh, Wakanda forever. I think Wakanda would have sorted that out without violence and fear of Black Panther killing everybody in the goddamn room.
That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color.
Gamer J. Lee. Hey, I can't get into my Twitch. Do we have anybody to thank that I missed?
We think the...
Oh, Pav 2's waiting to call? Oh, okay. I'll put Pav in. Pav, you're on the air.
Oh, wait a minute.
What do you mean? Wait a minute. I don't gotta wait on you, Englishman. You killed my relatives.
No. Well, I'm just gonna say that British politics is better than American politics. I don't care.
It doesn't get it. Look, British politics definitely. I don't know politics. Politics suck all around, but Parliament is definitely a better show than the House. I would give you that. But I don't know. You're not that good every day. That's really a good day for us. No argument.
Yeah, well, you've got some fake socialists and fake shit in your country. We've got the real shit here.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, good.
You can
keep them. You can keep those fucking real socialists. I don't want that.
You're just the fraud. You're the fraud of a country. I can't be asked to it.
You fraud of a country? Well, you should have won the war then. Jesus. Back-to-back World War chants, bitch. We keep winning them forward. Hey, how come you can't get that Brexit thing to go through?
Because Remain scum in the Parliament just blocks it. So.
Yeah, I know. But a circus act. At least we can get shit done. And you don't have anybody like Corey Lewandowski. He's my hero. And he used to play soccer for Dortmund. Did you know that? No, Jesus Christ, we're only one country apart here. Is that much of a delay?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. I wonder if because we have the extra superpower chat here. Hang on a second. Maybe that's why there's a delay. All right. Can you hear me better now? Do you on a cell phone? Are you on a phone?
Yeah, I'm on a phone.
Yeah,
so,
it's probably.
Pretty.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful day, Pav.
Yeah, you too.
You just need to get out of here. Bye.
They got him, this horse. They're gonna fuck it.
Yes. No. Thank you for the call, Pav. But we do. We're over an hour, 1 minute and 33 seconds. I'm not gonna nuke him. He's a new caller. It was very nice of him to call. Yeah, we are the champs of 1812. Remind when did the U.S. enter the world? 3 years in. Yeah, and that's when he started to win. You're welcome. And you got lucky in 1812. You didn't even fucking finish a job you left after you burnt down the White House. Still here, bitch. How's that moon landing going? Oh, it never happened.
Apparently he's fat.
Hey, don't you guys have to friggin' get a license to look at porn? Oh, I guess what? We win again. Hello, I would like some more. What, Oliver? What would you like? Porn pass, please? Porn?
I need my allowance early.
I need my porn pass, please. God. You're fuming, Lipo. I'll slap you around too. I slap Englishmen around all day. Because you starved. You took all the potatoes away, and I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you. Do you know the BBC was going to have like a Father Ted type show around the starving of Irishmen during the turn of the century? Well, those bastards. I can't forgive them over that. That might have been a funny show, actually. They were going to do a show on the potato famine, those motherfuckers.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck off, Yanks. Of course, I'm Irish American. Get that straight. I have fucking all the luck and none of the poverty. Got it? Luck for an luck. The Irish are the unluckiest people on the planet. Nothing goes right for them. That's why they're always drunk. I'd like to get my wife bangs a football player. Port pass, please.
God.
There's nothing funnier than a potato farmer. Farmer. All right. I love the UK. I don't like your laws. I'm starting to like your prime minister because he's goofy like my president. Wonderful times in London, and where's that other shithole I went to? Birmingham. But you'll always be, for as long as there's an America. I want you to remember this. I want you to listen real close. You'll always be number 2.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence. Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne. Running with these Wolverines, okay, you
birthday stream Saturday.
Been a liar, got tired of niggas playing me. Head in my legs like she bout to catch a pedigree. Chi-town, the King's home, slapping 5s, black stones. 6 mile to danger zones, bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated the evolution of Machiavelli. Don't make me lead them eagles to you like I'm Chip Kelly. They feel my struggle, I express it through my hip hop. I'm about to make it hard to breathe. Here's a headline.
And here's another song. Hello, 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 hello. They're looking for monkeys at the zoo, and if I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army.